We also have a pretty funny character who's a Bickford's waitress.
Oh, Gina Picardi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gina is, I want to say the class of 77.
Yeah, she's a little old.
Yeah,
but,
and so she's the waitress that the guys see every Saturday morning when they go to Bickford's for their breakfast after they get their samples of beer.
Yeah,
oh,
the guys
samples of beer.
Yeah.
There's a key part of the story about the guys going out to a brewery to collect samples of beer for prom night.
Well, it's based on some kind of loose, true stories about some friends of mine growing up that would maybe haul off to the beer distributor and
Things you've heard about.
sneak under a fence and maybe
Under a fence.
yeah, maybe go to a truckload.
You
of
watched
beer.
from afar.
I don't think I was around when they did
Okay.
this.
Okay. I'm glad to know
yeah.
this because you know
Yeah,
they would have killed you in the council race on that one.
They would have taken cases of beer and hauling off with them in the middle
Those are
of the
some
night.
good samples. I mean, that's even better than Price Club.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
wait, Price Club. That's an 80s. Say Costco.
I just think that's kicking it up a notch. I mean, who thinks of things out that well that like they're just going to go right to the distributor, forget the packy.
I know. We just had we had to go get fake IDs and go to the liquor store. The packy.
Fake ID. You had a fake ID story that wound up in the book.
I have 2 fake ID stories that wound up in the book.
Yeah, and they're both kind of crazy.
I was a teenager.
Yeah. What was your name on one of them?
Well, on both of them.
yeah, you never changed them. I don't know how they didn't get confiscated.
So I went up with 2 of my friends or 3 of my friends who will remain unmentioned here. And we went to a place, a check cashing store in beautiful Norco that also sold identifications.
Nice.
And I had the crappiest fake ID you could ever have. In California, the licenses are, blue and white, and this one was very brown. And the wind was blowing that day, and I had a lot more hair then, so my hair was all flipped over, so I looked new wave.
Right.
And so I got this, and it said at one point on there, very clear, not a government document.
Not a government document.
Not a government document.
No.
But I felt that I had to lie about my age because it's fake ID.
Right.
I felt it was only appropriate to also create a name.
What was the name? Tell everyone.
Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And so I had a Jeff Spicoli fake ID.
Yeah.
And I also gave him the middle initial of T because Captain Kirk's middle name is Tiberius.
Oh, Jeff T. Spicoli?
Yeah, so
That's probably what threw people off. when he gave
So
me the idea.
my idea was Jeffrey T. Spicoli.
Yeah. I personally don't think that was the smartest name.
I also used my neighbor's address in case they came looking for him.
Oh, yeah, so they go right next door.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Genius!
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Like, now Mr. Spicoli lives one door over.
Nice.
Oh,
Not so smart.
I just outed myself for a really stupid thing, didn't I?
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
did.
funny.
So we get the ID, so we go to this place called Campland on the Bay where my mom used to take me and one of my friends every summer. We'd go for a week, and it was great because it was the beach resort, and so the liquor store liquor store. It was actually a market, but for our purposes, it was a liquor store.
Right.
Because we were buying liquor.
Yeah.
And so there were a bunch of teenagers working at the store. It was their summer job.
Okay.
And so we'd go into the market, and so I went and I got some MGD because for whatever reason that was the beer of choice in my high school days.
Yeah, I remember MGD.
Yeah, the genuine draft,
Yes.
cold filtered. And so I put the 12er up there on the thing, and there's a guy who's a year or 2 older than me. I'm maybe 16 or 17, and he goes, "I'm gonna need to see some ID." And so, Hessian looking dude. And so I put the ID on the counter. He looks at it. He goes, "Your name's Jeff Spicoli." I said, "People have been giving me grief ever since that movie came out." And he goes, "Right." And he hands it back to me, and then you're not getting
I'm
it. Done.
Yeah, you're not getting it.
Heads down, tails between the legs. I'm heading towards
Right.
the door, and I hear on the register. I look over, and he goes, "How could I deny Jeff Spicoli?" That guy and I became good friends that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the irony, though.
Insane.
The irony is, though, a few blocks away from there, about 4 years later, it's the summer before I'm going to turn 21. I get sent, and Mom's not on this trip, so
Right.
we're really letting the doors come off because it's college days, right? I get sent because I'm the oldest looking, and I have a fake ID.
Right.
I get sent to the liquor store, as you guys might call the packy.
The packy. That's how it was referred to in in Massachusetts.
Package store, because you guys wouldn't sell liquor in the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't think they did back then, no.
Craziness.
I don't know if they do now. I haven't been back there.
Texas has weird laws like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy on Sunday before noon.
Yeah, we couldn't buy on Sundays either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Blue
California though, it's California, man. The people
Very progressive out here.
Obviously.
They love Jeff Spicoli.
And at least the Hessian guy did. This guy, not so much. So I go in, I get sent for Coors Light party balls, if you
Right.
call those.
Yeah?
So I got 2 Coors Light party balls up. The guy rings up the sale, and he's an older
You
gentleman.
had a lot of balls.
I did. And so, at least 2 that night. And he rings up the sale. I put my money that I've collected from my fellow partiers on
So
the
it's
counter.
all one spread out all over the
No,
register.
I think we were 20s, man.
Oh,
We were
okay.
doing good. We were in college.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, we weren't like
Nice.
pulling, lint
Okay.
out of the navel looking for the last penny or anything.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So I put that on there, and the guy's rung it up, and he's taking my money already.
Right.
And he goes, just a technicality, but I need to see your ID. And I was like, okay. And so I'm getting the ID out, and I'm like, he's probably too old to have seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
So I hand him the Spicoli ID. He looks at it, he throws it back at me, gets the money out of the register, throws it back at me, grabs the party balls. He goes, I'm sorry, Spicoli, no Fast Times here. As they would say in Wayne's World, denied.
Yeah. Probably a big fan of Fast Times.
Who isn't? Who isn't? So if you read anything like that in the book, it is taken from real life. The other stuff is inspired by real life.
Yeah. A lot of inspiration there.
Speaking of how this story got started and inspiration, we were sitting around in your man cave,
Yeah.
and we were telling high school stories and prom stories, and you told me a story. I don't think it was your senior prom. It was another one of those dances, and something happened that triggered this. Hey, let's write this movie. Let's write this book.
Yeah, it was a semi-formal. It was not one of my proudest moments, but I was lured to the dance floor, and the party gifts that night that the moms had all set out on the tables for the kids to take home were little shot glasses. Canton High School, the year. And so I thought
we lived in a different time, didn't
Lived in a
we?
way
We
different
really
time.
did. All right, could you imagine people handing out shot glasses to the senior class today?
No, it's probably because of me. Like I decided to take a flask.
Across America.
Right,
It's all
right.
because of you.
Totally. I took a flask.
He's the
out.
one, kids. He's the one.
I poured a shot into the shot glass, and I toasted the principal on the dance floor.
Classic.
Yeah, and he told me to kind of calm down and sit down, and
I love that it was just calm down, sit down. It wasn't like, where's the
yeah,
cops?
and I kind of told him to, take a flying leap off a bridge, and he had me arrested, and I wound up in jail that night. Not one of my proudest moments.
Woo!
Yeah. My
At least you got frisked.
I don't know if they probably did.
Okay. I was going to say.
My prom date, though, wound up getting a date or dance with it's probably like a dance with the principal, which was kind of,
I think that would be frowned upon these days, too.
yeah, it's probably frowned upon.
Yeah.
Not very cool. Anyways.
I mean, but then you got to remember the era we grew up in. Bill Cosby was a family role model in 1987.
Yeah.
All right, so times do change, kids.
True. Anyways, I wound up at the breakfast table the next morning, and my father's sitting there. He's telling me, he goes, you spent all this money on a limo, all this money on a tux. He's like, you spent money on dinner. He's like, you wind up in jail. He goes, what do you got to say for yourself? I go, I don't really have much to say for myself other than I was the best dressed guy in jail last night. And he was not real happy about that.
Every time you tell that story, it still gets me.
I'm glad you like it.
I do. I like it so much it's in the book.
It's very painful to
It's
me.
in the book.
Okay, well, I'm
You
glad
know
you
it's
like
in the
it.
book.
I know. I let you keep it in there.
The funny thing is, I forgot that you toasted the principal. I thought I had created that for the book.
No, that really happened.
I thought I was being brilliant.
You are brilliant.
All right, so I'm Brian David Floyd. This is Robert Slawsby. We have our book coming out, The Class of '87. We hope you buy it. We hope you buy more than one copy. We hope you hand it around and give it to people.
Yeah.
But most of all, we hope you enjoy it.
Please enjoy it.
It's a fun story, and thank you very much. And truly, we hope you enjoyed The Class of '87.